we're live.
Hola, Madridistas. Welcome back to another episode of Let's Be Real podcast. If you guys are new here, don't forget to smash the likes and subscribe to the channel. We're on the road to 4K. As always, big up our sponsors, Talksport. Go check them out. The biggest sports radio station in the world. Also, go show some love to Fanatics as well, official partners of La Liga and Real Madrid. Make sure you use our affiliated link in the description below. Right then. Where do we begin? We were contemplating whether or not we should be really doing a post-match for this. But many people, even amongst my own team, they speak a lot when we are winning. They speak hell of a lot. So much defending of these so-called absolutely world-class players. I would say overhyped, entitled players, entitled management, entitled club. They come on here during the good days. They speak a lot. They talk too much to the point that I feel like I'm the villain. Even the people who message me after games, message us or comment on the on Spotify and whatnot. They call me such nasty things for being passionate about the way I feel. Being passionate about how I feel the club is not being, heading in the right direction for the last 2 years. They feel like I have an agenda. They feel like I absolutely love hating on my club, love saying such negative things about my club. This club is basically the reason I wake up every morning. I look forward to my day, because without this club, there's nothing else to really, really be invested in, for me, at least personally. So this club is life, and for me to really break my head every single week, over this team, it means a lot to me. So it seems like the people who doesn't really want to hear the truth, they want to be fed delusion. They want to be fed the sensationalism, that they may get drip fed from the other pretty popular Madrid fans. I'm not a popular Madrid fan. I'm just a random fan out there. I have my 2 cents to say about what I feel about the club, and that's it. Beyond that, I don't go around promoting what I think is the truth, or really, um, yeah, or really doing anything above and beyond this post match or the previews that we do here. So it is really hard to stomach the stuff that I have to hear when I say the things I say about the way I feel, how this club has been handled and ran to the ground. Let's be honest, over the last 2 years, ever since we won the Champions League, ever since the club has changed the dressing room dynamic, I feel like we have lost the grinta. We have lost the bite. We have lost the fight. We have lost the determination to actually win games that we have no right to win. It's almost like every time we step on the pitch, we feel that we are entitled to win. Where is the fight, guys? Where is the never say die attitude that we have all associated with this great club for over the good part of the last 20 years? Where is all that? I see nothing. I see nothing. I see a fundamental flaw in this team. Keep aside all the stuff that Chabi has to deal with, his tactics and what on it. I've been very vocal in the fact that I've never felt very secure in the way we play. We'll get to that in a moment, but where is the leadership? The very people who won a couple of Champions Leagues, one key dressing room dynamic shift, and boom, they just look like they don't know what they're doing. Literally, I'm telling you, like, you don't need to be so tactically astute, or you don't need to really be world beaters to have the fight. Guys like Fede, Vinny, where are they, man? Where are they? The very soul and essence of our team have been completely wiped off. Um, I'll never get it. Jude Bellingham is a half fit man. Like he couldn't do much. But the spine of this team isn't clearly there. I mean, and we're gonna keep losing games. Mbappe can score 50 goals. I'm telling you, he can score a goal like he did today 100 more times. I wouldn't give a fuck. I wouldn't give a flying fuck. I'm telling you, unless and until he shows up and drags this team out of holes like tonight or today. Sorry. I'm telling you, like Barcelona in the Clasico, yes, he did score a hat trick, but did he win us the game? He didn't. Absolutely did not. Like, I'm not going to blame him, but I'm telling you, there's a fundamental issue in this side whereby I don't think people are nearly up for the challenges they were a couple of years ago. Go on, Sahil. I'm done with this fucking. Yeah, I'm done. Honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I can only imagine the frustration you're going through because you pretty much saw it coming right from the start. You pointed out stuff that shouldn't have been there, and then in fact, we told you that no, that's nothing to be worried about. It's a new team and it's a new dynamic, and things will things will come to fruition when the big games come through. But clearly, that has not happened because come the first big game of the season, we were just not up to the level that we should be, or even the level for that matter, the level that we showed in the games of the past. So I don't know if it's an expectation problem, but me as a Real Madrid fan, regardless of situation, regardless of the season, of the manager, of whether or not we're going through a transition, I'm always going to expect good things of my team in a big game. Um, and even just starting off from the starting 11, things did not feel right, changing so much ahead of a derby, right? I didn't understand the Jude Bellingham decision. I understand that he was our talisman 2 seasons ago, right? I understand that he had a bit of a transition season in terms of his positioning last year, and then he is recently only come back from his shoulder injury. But picking out Mastantuono as the one that needs to be replaced didn't make sense to me because Mastantuono was in some of the best form we've seen him since he came to the
That,
club.
that's why I tell you, Sahil, there is a fundamental issue in this club whereby
Right.
managers, yeah, they don't have the power
So
they,
it's a,
they
it's a
think they do.
bit
Hmm.
of I thought it was a bit of overthinking from Xavi more than power dynamic, right?
It is a power dynamic. Jude Bellingham, how can he be benched, Sahil? Come
Look,
on, wake up.
Sumit, Sumit,
Wake
it
up, Sahil.
it would have impacted other games as well, and players like Arda wouldn't even be starting if it was purely a power down dynamic. But I feel Xavi has the power, right? He has the
I don't think you
freedom for
do.
now. He has the
I
leeway
know.
for now to pick his own 11. He's just not doing it right.
Mm.
Secondly, the mentality in a big game, like you mentioned, these players are proven. Militao and Hosen, or even Raul Asensio, we spoke so highly of him last season, being brought on at halftime to supposedly fix a problem, and then things just get worse because that first half wasn't really. It was a good fight. It was a balanced first half, but towards the end of that first half, Atleti dismantled us at the back post. They figured out a problem that was recurring, and Xabi had to react. So he did, and he brought on Raul Asensio to fix that particular issue. But I think it only made it worse
Raul
because
Asensio was brought on because Militao was injured. He didn't fix any fucking issue. Xabi
was
Alonso
was
is the
it
most one of the
was it
most
Militao's injury?
naive. Yeah, was one of the most
Okay,
naive coaches I've seen in my lifetime. I'll be very honest. He
okay,
is
I
so
didn't know that,
fucking naive, so fucking naive
but
that the
but
glaring signs that we saw all throughout the first couple of months, he didn't even bother trying to fix it because he knows this squad is beyond him. Sorry, gone. Sorry, I just had to get that out of the way. Like I don't
no,
like
I
sitting
get
and
that.
listening to
Yeah,
all this fucking PR. Like I'm fucking done to be honest. But yeah,
yeah, no, I get it, but honestly, man, like some of the decisions on the pitch. are beyond me. Because if we're conceding 5 to this Atleti team, who have had a disastrous start of the to their season, who we sat here, uh, putting down in our preview for this game, we sat here talking about how much of a disaster their start to the season has been, and how much of a perfect start we've had. Imagine what teams like Liverpool and Barca will do to us when they come. Uh,
Mm.
and it isn't just about the big games, right? Eventually, the smaller teams are going to catch on, and honestly, they have. It's just the they aren't clinical enough when it comes to actually finishing those chances, or when it comes to what matters in either end of the pitch, and in both the boxes. I think Real Madrid just outdo the smaller teams. Uh, but even today, like some of the chance creation in that first half, where we were supposedly okay, like we were not bad, it comes from it comes from individuals being remarkable in that particular moment in a
Mm.
specified
There
situation.
isn't a design set in place to
There
put
isn't
them in the
cohesion. There
best
isn't,
positions. Yeah.
yes, that isn't a team moving like it's supposed to,
Mm.
right? Together. And we see it in other games, but it just doesn't click in the bigger games where I don't know why, but for one reason or another, we feel like we have to do something different, something remarkable against a bigger opponent.
That's why
Uh,
I've always mentioned
which isn't
to
always
all
the
these.
case.
Yeah, that's why I've always been very vocal about the fact that if our club gets someone who is so hell bent on the finer details, we're never going to be successful, Sahil. I'll be very, very surprised if we win something big under Xabi Alonso. Going off of the evidence I've seen, I'm telling you, football is a funny game. Sorry, football is a very funny game in the fact that you can only um how do I put it? You can only leave so much up to the imagination. If I'm saying it right, Sahil, because
Yeah,
football is something. Football, like in other sports, I think to an extent, maybe I'm being a bit dramatic here, but in other sports, I think you can mask some of the stuff you don't want others to see. In football, it's laid out in bare. You can't really you can't really hide behind
yeah,
something in football. And the proof is in the pudding from very early on. I told you this match day one, Club World Cup, while I was going off of in the chat. Yeah, it's early days. Yeah, it's super early. Yes, this is not Xabi Alonso squad. But what we see isn't giving me any confidence. I've told you this from day one. Like, there isn't a reason why I shouldn't be backing this manager who's so charismatic. One of my favorite players growing up. He's
mm,
coming to save us. I should be all over this. But why am I so deterred by what I see? It's because I don't feel good about it. Anyway,
no,
yeah. Send me a
absolutely.
couple more death threats tomorrow, guys. I'll be looking forward to reading them. Send it to me.
Yeah, and
But
then
yeah,
there's not
mm,
much of a difference, honestly.
mm.
Obviously, he's got a stronger squad now, but there's not much of a difference in how the team were playing last season and the patterns that we're seeing on the pitch. And some of the negative feedback that, like even smaller things, like why is Mbappe feeling the need to drop back so much to receive the ball when
Because he
play,
is not a number nine. He's not a
all of
number
his
nine.
best play has been when he's attacked the back of the defender, and he's made darting runs. Even today's goal, it came through such a play, and then he feels the need to drop back to receive the ball. It
Mm.
just it confuses me.
It confuses you. It confuses us. It confuses everyone but the board and the people running the club because they have to cater to Mbappe because there can't be another top striker alongside Mbappe in this team. Even if Haaland is willing, even if Haaland puts out a tweet, I want to sign for Madrid and I'm going to come on a free. I'm going to run out my contract. I'm going to come on a free. We are not going to budge. I'm telling you.
Yeah,
Looking at the way things are going,
and the
Mbappe let
defending Sunil.
Mbappe win the Pichichi again and we go trophyless. Let's go. Let's
The
go.
the
Version
the
two.
less said about the defending, the better, because I think Carreras and Hosson just they fumbled today. They were nervous, and they are two players that we've been speaking a lot about since the start of the season, about
All these
how well they fit
idiots
into the side
all
and
these
how comfortable
idiots
they
who
are on the
get
ball.
All these idiots who get carried away. Carreras, oh my God, he's the second coming of Jesus Christ. How's the next Ramos? I'll never get
No,
this, Sahil. Honestly,
I
I'll
don't
never get it.
understand how you can't fix a recurring issue that's been there for the past 2 seasons, where teams who aren't even necessarily, uh, you know, traditional crossing sides, or traditionally teams who put the ball into the box to save
Mm.
their lives, teams who even the teams who want to play on the counter attack, they just know that if you put the ball in the on the back post of a Real Madrid defensive penalty box, you are going to get something one time out of three. Especially with a striker like Solot, especially with someone like Alvarez, who's so smart and even out wide when he has the ball. So Atleti, as much as we don't tend to give them credit for how cynical they can be, or for for how much they rely on the dark arts, I feel they had a plan and they executed. They executed to perfection. Five goals. That's not easy against. They made it look easy for sure, but for a team who's been
That's
struggling
not
so much.
that's not easy against Real Madrid side. Is that
No, no,
what you were
no.
about to say?
What I'm
Mm.
saying is that's not easy after the start to the seasons that they've had. I know the last game against
Okay,
Rayo was a bit of a glimmer of hope, but I feel like we don't we don't give these teams enough credit as well.
I'm telling you, Sahil, we have to give them credit where it's due. 100%.
Yeah,
Atleti realized there is a glaring weakness. We're going to cross the ball and say inshallah, and it's going to happen.
yeah, but there is a
How
plan,
many?
right, Sunaid? For us, we're crossing the ball into no one. Five times out of
We
one,
can't.
Arda meets
We
it.
don't even.
Arda of all people.
We don't even cross much because I mean, Vini crossed the ball to Arda. Brilliant, split second decision making. He chopped it off onto his right. Chopped it back and then laid it on a platter for Arda Güler. But that was a one-off, and Arda was in such a an enticing position. In so much space, being unmarked. Um, our forwards, Vinicius and Mbappe, have we ever seen them in those sort of positions? We won't. I'm telling you. That's why we can't cross. I'll tell you something, Sahil. I don't know if you were around. Okay, during Zidane's first couple of weeks, the signs weren't this glorious. Whereby, oh yeah, all the data merchants can have a field day. The field tilt. The winning the ball high up the pitch. The turnovers that we cause. All that shit wasn't there. Telling you back to basics. Yeah, we don't look good enough, but we get to that point by being direct. We get to that point by being, you know, a team that has to refine their level by just falling back to basics, man. When we try to do it, we don't have anyone. You see a game like this today, Sahil, I'm guaranteeing you right now, we are going to face at least 20 other teams that we are going to be, you know, we are going to basically find no answers to for the last 10 minutes of the game.
Yeah,
If they I'm very, very confident when I say this, style, unless we are leading a game, right? Unless we take the lead early on and we, a healthy lead, okay? If it's a 1-0 lead against Oviedo, it's okay. But the higher the caliber of the opposition, the higher the lead. Say we take a 2-0 lead against Barcelona, I do feel we might stand a chance. If Barcelona score first, it's game over. I'm telling you, it's game
yeah,
fucking over.
yeah.
It's game over. Like we can't really fancy ourselves to fashion a chance like we
But
do. We just don't have it.
we didn't even have to take the lead today, Sunil. We were against such a
Mm.
side that we were against a team who were having the worst start to their season. We just had to survive those first 20 minutes because we knew it was going to be a packed Metropolitano with an insane atmosphere, and they were going to make the kind of sound, and the team were going to be pumped up, and they were going to come at us all guns blazing, right? In the first 20 minutes. We just had to survive that and then go and capitalize on what lied beyond
They
that.
had four big chances in the opening 25. Four big chances. I'm telling you, Sahil, this could have easily been 6 or 7. 6 or
Yeah,
7.
yeah, exactly. That's what even the commentators were saying. I feel they had such good chances, and
Long
obviously
play.
they're not going to score. They're not
Long
going to
play,
score
hand on
all of
God.
them. Yeah,
If he literally moves his hand from his face, it's
that's
a
a
tap in.
header. That's a header. Yeah.
Tap in.
Again, recurring problem. Set pieces. We have nobody marking the big guns, and it's not like we're a team of short players, or we're a team of players who are bad aerially. It's just bad coordination, bad marking, routines. So I don't know if
Hausen, for someone who is 6'6", holy shit, Sahil,
he's bad
is
aerially.
he is
For yeah,
atrocious. I'm telling you, like, unless he fixes it quickly, I'm telling you, he doesn't have a place in this Real Madrid lineup. No
mm,
chance in hell, I'm telling you. Because if something as basic as heading is lacking in your locker, bro, insane. I'm telling you, insane. He doesn't have the confidence to back himself in a foot race. He doesn't have the confidence to
yeah.
back himself in an aerial duel.
Even Carreras, for
Finished,
the
finished,
confidence that he showed in his
finished.
abilities going up and down the pitch in these first few games, he brought out his inner Lucas Vasquez. That's what people on Twitter are saying now.
Lucas Vasquez was a winger. Put some respect on a man who won 5 Champions Leagues and
Yeah,
being a central figure in so many
yeah,
successful sides. Carreras can't even lace the boots of Vasquez. Come on,
fair enough.
don't
But
mention them in the
again,
same
it
sentence.
was just about characteristics and how
Shocking,
easily he
Carreras,
lost the ball
shocking.
in our own
Super
half.
nervous, super nervous. He always wanted to play with his left foot. He doesn't. He didn't even have. Imagine, Sahil, in a game as demanding as a derby, you're up against it, right?
Mm,
Atleti has started the game like a house on fire, but you're so nervous to the point you can't even take a touch with your right foot. It's Sahil, I'm telling you, this squad is so shoddily put together, so devoid of ideas, so insipid, so watered down to the extent that we looked good on the ball. That makes us a good side. That means that we should be winning games. Oh yeah, we dominated possession and blah blah blah. All it takes is one decent chance for us to get completely derailed. I mean, first time we concede 5 goals against Atleti in 75 years, Sahib. I'm telling you, Sahil, I've sat through 4-0
yes, the
when it
state of
was
this defense.
when it was under Ancelotti. I think when it was Fernando Torres, his second stint in Madrid, Atleti.
Yeah,
We lost 4-0. I've sat through a lot of derby losses, a lot of derby performances where we looked second best, but I haven't seen a team this shook, this um, devoid of character. I mean, that's one thing I really would like to fall back again on. This isn't an agenda against Mbappe. This isn't an agenda against any of our star boys. We need them. These guys are here to win us trophies, here to win us games. Because of their
mm,
tremendous ability. On their night they can basically decide the game all by themselves.
yeah,
But Sahel, can you agree with me or not? Okay, I mean this is up to you. I'll leave it up to you to make a decision or a
yeah,
judgment, right? In my opinion, over the last 2 years, we have lost the fight, Sahel. Like I'm telling you, we can be tactically outclassed, and I'm completely fine by that. Being tactically outclassed meaning um, opposition managers come up with 2, 3 well-devised plans to actually
exactly what
take
I'm
us
saying,
out,
Sunil.
take us out of the game. Today, we were asked to deal just with fucking crosses. Just with fucking crosses. I'm telling you, just Sahil, just with fucking crosses. If
Yeah,
I was a wing back, if I was Carvajal, right, my centre backs are having a very hard time struggling to deal with Alvarez, sometimes Lenormand making darting runs, um, Sorloth being a complete nuisance. What would I do if I was Carvajal? I would cut the crosses at the inception. I would make sure that the crosses don't go in.
yeah,
If I was Carreras, what would I do? I would make sure the crosses don't go in. If I was a midfielder, if I was Fede, if I was Germany, what do? I would
He
make
would fall
sure
back on that. Yes.
I would make sure the ball don't go out wide. They don't have an angle to cross. If they look like they're going to cross, I'm going to fucking barge into them. I'm going to knock them over. I'm going to concede a foul. Fuck it. Give me a yellow. Throw them off their stride.
The way Atleti played in that last 30 minutes, last 20 minutes even, that's the way we should have been playing after we went up 2-1. I mean, to some extent, at least we should have held a defensive line, but our back line just collapsed uh, because of Alvarez and all the chaos that he was causing. Obviously, I mean that penalty was a no-brainer because the high boot in the box, you can't really argue that. And then that free kick, it's just brilliant. But there are signs, there are patterns, even apart from those moments of brilliance that you cannot, um, you know, obviously apart from giving the opposition credit, you've also got to look in your camp and ask some of these glaring questions. Why isn't Militao or why isn't Hosen doing better about a ball into the box? A cross at the far post.
Yeah. I'm telling you, Carreras basically watching Sorloth head it in 4K, having the best seats in the house. The least you can do is put him off his stride. Unless you basically make a dangerous play, or pull his hair, or shove him in the back, like putting your elbow into the back and trying to break him in half, or trying to fucking judo karate kick him midair. That wouldn't be a pen. Challenge Sorloth, man. Just jump with him. Try to put him off his stride. Try to put him off balance. Do something. He's just standing there. I'm telling you, that's why I'm going back to this term. We lack grinta. Okay, if you don't know what grinta is, look it up. We lack grit. We lack determination. We just lack any real fight in games where we need to have fight. I mean, if you told me we lacked fight against Oviedo or Mallorca or Osasuna or whatever the fuck, in a derby, I don't know what is the excuse to really be so
complacent. Yes,
complacent, so cold. I'm telling you, why do our shoulders drop immediately when we are faced with adversity? I'm telling you, it's not a good sign. This club is going nowhere with the system, nowhere with these players, nowhere with the dynamic we have from top to bottom. From top to bottom, I'm telling you, the people in Madrid, I'll be very honest for the people listening in. Okay, this might be a very bitter truth to swallow, but when me and Sid, we discuss. Well, basically, I formulate the questions that he asks people on a match day. I send him actual questions, actual concerns that we see during a game. He can't ask all of them to the fans coming out of the stadium, because why? You can't really speak ill of the team. The people are really afraid to speak up about the club. In Madrid, I'm telling you, this is the sad truth. I have no idea why that is the case. I don't know why the fuck we have to fear a fucking football club. Is this a dictatorship that's gonna, derail people's lives if we voice what we think is wrong, or if we, voice dissatisfaction, or it's in good taste. I'm telling you, we don't want this club to go down the route of the other, elite clubs, in the last couple of decades. We're coming off of the back of a very bad period in our history. We went 12 years without a Champions League, although we had a couple of decent wins in La Liga. It was dark times, but I really feel like we are starting to go back to that point unless we fix the culture within this club. And I'm telling you, remember, Sahil, how was Vinicius? I used to be absolutely, fuming whenever Vinicius used to have a head loss. But Sahil, can you tell me this? Does he have the same fight in him?
No, absolutely
since
not.
last season?
Not nearly enough. No.
He can throw tantrums all he wants, but I just want him to have the fight back. He doesn't have it. I'm telling you, he doesn't have it. So many of these players, they lack it collectively. I feel it's a it's a fundamental issue.
Rodrigo coming off the bench was more effective than Vinny was all throughout the game, and I don't understand why Vinny wasn't taken off earlier. I don't understand why Arda was taken off so early into the game.
Again, since you mentioned Arda, brilliant performance, one of our standout players this season so far.
Yeah, except for the high boot.
Yeah, people were so keen on him, being our midfielder. There you go. I mentioned this from last year.
Yeah,
mentioned this from last year. I don't know why nobody else mentioned it.
That too from a not so ideal position, like because Jude was back in the team, Arda was positioned more on the right, and obviously he got.
But Arda was still playing in midfield at times.
He was still playing in midfield, yes, but because he had three other elite midfielders playing in the same position, he didn't quite have the same amount of space as he would in other games. But he still made good value of it.
100%. I mean, the true word for Mbappe, he's just really good at what he does from an attacking perspective. But does he have the defensive nous, the defensive IQ, the defensive discipline to actually play in midfield?
He was the same. He seemed to contribute more today. Seemed to contribute more today. But obviously,
Sahil,
time will tell.
This is schoolboy defending on the pen. Yeah. You're supposed to go with your head.
That was absolutely naive. I don't know what he was doing there.
I'm telling you, you either
so
have
I would have
defensive ability or you don't.
This, I would have accepted this loss had it come with some semblance of strategy and of, a game plan that didn't work, a strategy that didn't go our way, where we were creating chances through a pre-planned, routine, and that we weren't able to finish them. I would have taken that on the chin. But I can't accept a loss where both the goals that we've scored against an opposition's 5 have come off moments of individual brilliance or goals that those players will
big mistakes. Lenormand absolutely got done to the shops when he tried to take on Vinicius,
running back on Mbappe. Yeah, so I would have accepted this, even this scoreline, had it come with some dignity.
Yeah, don't look for words. It's there's nothing to say, Sahil.
No, there would have been some level of dignity.
Nothing.
Right?
There's nothing throughout the season, Sahil. Even in the games we have won, have we really looked? I mean, even against Levante, I did mention. I don't think were you here for the Levante post match? No, you weren't. It was me and Sid, right?
Yeah.
I did mention. Levante let us play the game we wanted to play. They were so fucking open. They just invited us to do our thing. But other teams who set up to nullify us, we didn't have an answer to. And yet we considered shocking amount of chances against the mid-table sides. And also, I tell you something, right? You can't expect the boys, the players who take to the pitch to actually give a damn if the entire hierarchy is complacent about putting us in the best position to win. Militao is going to be outside. Carvalho is going to be out. What is our backline? Back to Tchouaméni. Yeah, back to fucking Tchouaméni, right? Tchouaméni, Hausen, Carreras, and Asensio. Did you actually watch Asensio play? My goodness, man! I'm telling you, I can be a better centre back than him.
He was rusty. Extremely.
I can be a better centre back than Rustam. I mean, I'm telling you, Asensio is so fucking done, so fucking out of his depth. He has no place in this team. Do you remember the time where he tried to prevent Nico Gonzalez from darting into the box?
Yeah,
he just basically just made him.
Just showed him the other way.
Made him look like made him look like a League One defender.
Yeah, Nico was going one way, and Asensio dropped his shoulder, blocked that way, and then just allowed him to go past the other way. And Nico, as it is, was going down on every challenge.
Sorloth should have made it. What was it? 3-2 then, I think. Was it before the pen? I think it was before the pen. Yeah. Right at the end of the first half, right? Yeah.
No, there was multiple chances. There was one chance where we allowed Julian Alvarez. We allowed Julian Alvarez to shoot from 25 yards, and it hit the post on its way out.
Oh yeah.
There was nobody.
Someone who has scored 4 or 3 or 5 goals in 3-4 days. These guys,
Yeah.
I'm telling you, they are so naive. The people who play for us nowadays, the
Like
standards are so fucking
there has
rock
to be
bottom
some
side.
level of there has to be some level of pattern recognition where once something happens and it doesn't go against you, you make sure it doesn't happen again. Like 3 minutes after Koke put in that cross for Solot, another cross from what's his name, Hansko.
Hansko.
That
Mm.
luckily for us didn't hit anybody, but it was
Yeah,
a hell
very
of a cross.
dangerous. Any contact, it's a goal.
Yeah.
Any contact, any sort of
So
contact is a goal.
I mean, Ashik mentions this in the comments. That the biggest crime isn't losing the match this badly. The biggest crime is the fact that we'll probably learn nothing from it, and that is what
Mm.
that's what really hurts.
Mm. Well, I hope you guys understand what Carlo did, man. Yeah, haram football, all that stuff. Let's see how Xabi Alonso does against the top sides. We are going to get absolutely thrashed, and unless we miraculously completely change up the way we play, completely change up our entire backline, which is not going to happen. It's not going to happen, Sai. It's not going to happen. We need better defenders. We need people who are willing to put the body on the line. We need people who are, down to get their shots dirty. I mean, literally. We don't have that. We just don't have. We have Raul Sensio who is willing to do that, but is absolutely shocking in every other department. We don't stand a prayer to win a major title this season.
Even some of the other talent that we have, we don't seem to be using properly. Like the likes of Kamavinga, I don't see any impact
Gonzalo
when he comes
Garcia,
on.
2 minutes.
Gonzalo
2
Garcia comes
minutes.
on way too late into games. Dani Ceballos does not come on. I mean, if Gonzalo isn't coming on, I'm not even going to ask for Endrick. Brahim Diaz does not come on. Rodrigo is substituted on, but he has little influence where where he has to adjust and play in a front four, essentially. Because remember, when he came onto the pitch, there was 4 attackers:
Yeah.
Marc-Antoine, Mbappe, himself, and Denis. So I've been saying this from the start of when we started recording. There are some things that I don't understand from Xabi. It's not that I
well,
agree or disagree.
mm,
That I just
mm,
don't understand
yeah,
why he would do
yeah.
some things.
Like I do understand because I've seen football enough. Side, I do understand when a manager is completely out of his depth. I really want him to succeed, but I don't think he'll succeed. Yeah. All the motherfuckers who are gonna call me a negative Nancy. There you go. I don't think he'll succeed here. This is my club. Um, I'm probably well within my right to say that I've seen enough to really know what this team is about. Even if he actually sets himself up to succeed, there are so many external factors that he really can't deal with. We are like I'm telling you, this is the sad truth, right? Us as a club has turned into one of those yesteryear celebrities. Those actors who have been filled out for years. Those those guys who were once big in the day, but now is basically down and out on their knees, who are surrounded by yes men. We are surrounded by yes men, us as a club, I'm telling you. We are surrounded by yes men because we have no fucking idea how the world operates, how the market operates, how football operates, how quickly, people move on in football. Because if we weren't surrounded by yes men, we would be getting, sufficient reinforcements in so many crucial areas. We would be getting a proper number 9. We would be getting proper centre back backups, proper wing back backups, a proper ball playing midfielder. These are fundamental positions. These aren't your fullbacks, or you can maybe play an out of form winger in there and try to basically um, mask such a big deficiency. These are specialist positions. You can't really ask someone who was a CDM to play at CB and don't not look out of place. These are specialist positions that needs significant thought, significant transfer strategy. That's what I'm telling you. This club isn't serious enough about winning anymore. So they aren't serious enough about winning anymore at all. It just isn't. Just isn't. Very sorry. Very sorry. But yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, man. Like I don't think I have anything to add to that.
Also, on a brighter note, we lost a derby around this time, a couple years back, and then we went unbeaten and went on to win the Champions League.
Don't do
But
this,
that's
man.
because
We did all this last year.
I know, but I'm telling you, that was a different team. Let me add to what I said. That was a different team with Carlo at the helm, who is a serial winner, who knows what it takes to win, not to place the fucking keyboard warriors who wants, the field tilt data, who wants, the heat map to be in our opposition's box. That was a manager who cared about winning, and that's all that I care about. I'll be very honest.
Plus, we said it so many times last season where the last time we lost 5-2 to Barca and then in El Clasico we won the Champions League. What not true? I'm not even gonna get into it. So these statistics are good for the for the stat boards, but they don't really make sense. Like just because something happened twice or thrice in the past 10 years doesn't mean it's bound to happen again.
No,
With a different manager and a different group of players, it's very difficult to replicate those statistics.
The second bit is the most key element. So a different group of players, different dressing room dynamic. I don't think these guys are. They're still. How do I put it? They're still a family. It still is a family-like dressing room, but I don't think they have the collective. They have the collective energy to fight like they did. If you remember, Sahil, the two Champions Leagues we won. Look at the body language of those players, Sahil. It'll tell you a lot compared to now, Sahil. Please go back and watch it. I'm telling you. Go back and watch all that and tell me if I'm wrong about guys like Mbappe. Please, Sahil. Please. I beg you. Go. I can give you the.
I can give you.
I can give you websites like Footballia. If people haven't checked out Footballia, go check out Footballia. Over 50, 60 years of content, full-length matches, even from the infamous 1960s Champions League finals and all that, 7-3 Eintracht Frankfurt. I watched because of Footballia. So go check it out and go look at how we won those Champions Leagues, how we won those league titles, and look at the body language of every player, starting from the goalkeeper to the striker. Simple as. But yeah, what else to add? What did we miss? The midfield, again, absolutely non-factor. Big concern for me. Chouameni is the only one who has kind of looked like he knows what he's doing throughout this season. Apart from that, it's almost always someone who is just easily bypassed. I mean, any half-decent side, it's super easy to play through us or around us. I'm in my 15 or 16 or so years watching football, right? If a team is easy to be played through in one way, they will be difficult to be played through in another way. That is, if you're too easy to play down the middle, you're super tight on the wing. You funnel people down the middle and you try to find them out, or else you're super tight to play down the middle and you leave a bit of the wing backs exposed out wide, so that what are they going to do out wide?Apart from hopeful crosses. But we, on the other hand, we have both sides of the game completely unlocked at this point. It's super easy for any half-decent side to fancy chances against us. So, Sahil, Alvaro Carreras has looked so good, right? Hausen has looked very decent, apart from his couple of head losses here and there. But the moment Atleti decided, we're going to target Alvaro Carreras.
Yeah, we're going to press him.
Finished. And it's Pablo Barrios and Simeone.
Giuliano Simeone.
Are they really world beaters. I don't
No,
think
but
so.
they're far more street smart than Carreras and Hossein. So give them
Oh
credit
yeah,
for that.
I'll give them that for sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like even what's his name, Nico Gonzalez. When the
Mm,
game was what 4-2, 3-2 up, he went down on every challenge possible, and I mean, to an extent, the referee bought it even. But
mm,
these are street smart players who know how to win games, and that's precisely the culture that Diego Simeone is trying to uh, inculcate into
mm,
this into some of the new players. Like obviously the veterans, the Kokes of this world, and even Julian Alvarez to an extent, they already have it hardwired into them.
mm.
It's just some of these new boys. I feel that fight and that hunger to win no matter what, despite the ethics and the morality of a situation, that needs to be hardwired into some of our players, honestly.
Mm.
Not that you
Which
make yourself look bad, not that you
go
make
on.
yourself
Yeah,
look naive by picking a fight
mm,
like Vinny does.
yeah.
Uh, and I'm also not even asking players to throw tackles where it isn't warranted, right? I'm not asking them to get cards, and because then that's a head loss, and I'm gonna sit here and blame them for that after a game. Uh, but just a little bit of hunger, and that can, like Mastantuono, what he did today, kicking the ball into the stands, that wasn't exactly professional or ethical, but it made me it showed us that he had at least some sort of remorse for this performance. Uh, like I did not expect Valverde to give away the ball for that last goal. A player of Valverde's caliber, um, I don't associate those things with Valverde. I would have sort of seen it
I
coming
remember
if
against Athletic Bilbao last year.
yeah.
I've, I've,
Um,
I've always said this. Fede Valverde is a midfielder who is capable of playing midfield,
yeah.
but he isn't the best passer. He has
Mm.
improved a lot significantly. He has improved his overall passing
But
range.
that was just a lack of awareness and situational this thing. But I, it's a 10-yard pass, and you can't, as he's a professional footballer. It's just a lack of awareness of where his
And
next man is.
under the Xabi Alonso system, we are completely We had this conversation with Sid, I think, in the last post match.
Mm.
We're completely taking Fede Valverde out of his game, out of his comfort zone by asking him to play this possession
This deep
oriented.
midfield role, yeah,
Yeah.
it might make Chouameni look like a better midfielder, and that
Mm-hmm.
honestly has been working. But I don't think Valverde is there in this team to make Chouameni look better.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't think that should be his,
He's
his primary purpose.
We should be utilizing his late runs into the box. We should be
Yeah,
utilizing his athleticism.
I
How to
wouldn't mind Valverde as a wide midfielder in a 4-4-2. Like we started with a 4-4-2 today, and
mm,
I would have loved to see Valverde in a wider role. But then again, I don't think Arda has the defensive nous to play that
yeah,
midfield role.
yeah.
So that balance wouldn't work either. Uh,
Mm.
yeah, these are conversations for for another day, and I think we can just read the comments now and start slowly wrapping up.
Ashik was mentioning, other than the assist, where was Vinny? What did he do? Are we still going to kiss? Yeah, Jude shouldn't have started. He should. He was way off the pace of the match. I'm sure Mbappe hate is coming. Mbappe hate is obviously coming when he isn't supposed to be the striker we need. I've nothing against the boy. He has absolutely proven me wrong so many times over. Last year at the beginning of the season, I thought he wasn't up for the fight. But I'm telling you, he isn't the player who we should be looking to when things are going well and when Mbappe can turn it on and win us games. He looks absolutely incredible. But I'm telling you, Ashik, please wake up. He isn't Cristiano. I'm not talking about ability. I'm talking about the fight. He isn't Cristiano, and it's okay. It's okay. He isn't even Vidi when it comes to having the fight, and it's okay, right? We can let Mbappe score his goals. We need someone who is going to be that enforcer in attack. We need it. We need it. Without that, this team won't win anything significant. Yeah, we might win a Copa del Rey. We might win the league if Barcelona fail enough. I caveat, this with that. If Barcelona continue to give up points, yeah, we might win the league. It's La Liga, it's Madrid. We have enough in us to win the league. But to win a Champions League, we need a forward that can really hold the line, take up central space. I repeat this so often: take up central space, occupy the defenders.
Be on the shoulder
Ashik was actually defending
of the last defender.
why Mbappe was dropping deep. He mentioned it's because the midfield didn't give him space. I'm telling you, midfield needn't give him space.
We started with four midfielders, for fuck's sake.
He should basically occupy the centre backs and make sure the midfielders have space. That's what he should do.
Yeah.
Or otherwise, you should be Benzema, who is so good on the ball, who is so inventive. You drop deep and you redistribute. You start up another play. You start up another action. You don't drop deep and ask the ball to feed and try to dribble three man. In this day and age, give me a break. But yeah, Ashok mentioned said it in midweek. I'll say now Levante win says nothing. Even a public team can give Levante a hard time. Winning 4-1 against them says nothing. We are an average side. I've said this so many times. We look very, very average. Bang average. Clásico will be a 6-0 win for Barcelona. Carreras is not a match for Yamal. Even Rashford will score against us. I'll be very surprised if that doesn't happen. There's a high chance all that happens. Yeah. Ashik was mentioning there are many holes and weaknesses to this team, and it got exposed today. If they are not dressed, then 0 trophies are incoming. The club and its desire to sign free is costing us season after season. Bigger random guy, he was mentioning there was a disaster class, a wrong lineup. Jude clearly not 100% for such a physical away game yet. Yeah. We used to have Cristiano. We used to have just Cristiano, who was untouchable, who was above and beyond the team. Now we have Vinicius, we have Mbappe, we have Jude Bellingham. If Rodrigo had the numbers to be in the mix among these guys, he would be in the equation as well. I'm telling you, that is never a healthy dressing room. Never, ever a healthy dressing room. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. It's unsustainable. I just don't have a good feeling where this club is going.
Look, right now that lineup thing could be one of two things. It could either, again, I go back to this because he has benched many for a few games. It could either be just him overthinking and putting his best man out for the big game, or just hierarchy, as you put it. But we'll find out, I guess.
Yeah, when you're struggling to control the random guy says when you're struggling to control the game in midfield, your defense is shaky, and then you can't open the game with 4 offensive players like Vinny, Mbappe, Arda, and Jude, who is not 100% disaster.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, Xabi Alonso looks completely naive. Completely naive. Completely naive.
I would hate to be Mastantuono to come into Derby with this kind of form and be benched. I think part of the frustration that he took out on that football was from that.
Yeah, Ashik was mentioning playing Jude in Cam and Arda on the wing with Jude still rusty was a mistake. Arda drifted and started playing Cam more and more, and that left us with no width on the right. Jude isn't ready.
It's also true. We weren't attacking down the right enough.
Yeah. Random guy was mentioning from the start of the season, Xabi was focusing on defense first. This is the first game where he focused on offense first by including Jude in the lineup and shifting teams' balance.
And none of it worked.
Yeah, that fucked up everything, apparently. Yeah.
We would have still lost without Jude in the team. But
yeah, Ashik was mentioning when we lost 4-0 in the Derby in 2015, we had injury issues. What was the excuse today? I'm pretty sure Modric was out of that derby, if I'm not mistaken. I think we had a very attack-heavy midfield with James. I think it was James in midfield, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, it was a long time ago. I can't really remember, but I do remember the devastation, following that loss. But yeah, Quick shots was mentioning when backs are against the wall. That's where Simeone delivers, no doubt. I did mention this in the preview. Um, this is what we have to deal with. Away against Atleti is never going to be a good time. We just have one win in the last 7 games. So it wasn't necessarily a place that we are super confident of winning the game, right? It's a manner in which we try and deal with damage limitation and how we falter so comically. That's what is so bothering, because a team is incoherent. A team is out of their depth, like Atleti. If they can give us a run for our money and basically allow us to not even have a touch inside their box in the second half up until the 75th minute or something. Yeah, very, very concerning times. I'll be honest. Liverpool, they lost today, so I've said this. Liverpool don't really look that good, but do those elite clubs really have to be on their triple A, A+ game to really lay a glove on us? I think it's so easy to score on us, so easy to really, really keep us out, because we look inorganic in defense, inorganic in attack. So I don't think it'll
It's
take
easy to make us look
massive.
like an amateur
Yeah.
side.
Yeah,
Doesn't take much.
doesn't
Like
take much at all.
like a team just has to keep playing the natural game, and it's us in going into every big game. It's our manager that has to feel the need to do something extra. That's
Yeah,
what bugs me.
yeah,
Why
yeah.
can't we just go into a big game thinking we keep going through the flows and ebbs and flows of what we've been
Mm,
doing these past 3-4 games,
mm.
because we have been getting the results. It's not as if we're void of results, but
Carlo,
for one reason or another, we
yeah.
feel the need to
Mm,
change things up every time a big game comes around. If we just keep doing the same thing, uh, you know, playing with the same strategies,
mhm.
we'll still be bad because there's
Yeah.
no cohesion in this team.
Mm.
But at least there'll be something to grow off of. Like, what positives can you take after today's game? That we scored 2 goals of individual brilliance. Is there something, to grow off this?
Mm. Well, if you remember the 2022 Clasico at
Mm.
home, Carlo played Modric as a false nine, and we lost 4-0. This
Oh, the one
is
with the
the
black
case
jersey.
with yeah. This is the thing with every top manager we have had. At least Carlo was clever enough to know that drilling a very how do you call it, very positionally rigid, demanding system into these players isn't going to cut it. They need freedom. They need a platform to be at their devastating best, especially on the counter. And that's why I think Carlo was so defensive. Looking back on the times we had so much success under his tutelage, I think it is because he set us up to counter with such precision, to counter with such pace that we just outran teams. We conserved all our energy, won the ball back, and boom, Xabi Alonso system. Yeah, we die on the hill that we won the ball back high up in the opposition territory. Where do we go with that? I have no idea.
We also
By the
lost.
time we
We
get
also lost the
yeah,
ball. We also lost the
mm,
ball in our own half in the 92nd minute, and let
mm,
Griezmann score his first goal in 22 league
yeah,
games.
that's
No one's gonna mention that.
we basically a washed Griezmann.
Yeah.
You know, we gave him the perfect sign-off gift. I think this might be his last season at Atleti. He scored a
Yeah.
goal
Yeah.
in the derby.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was the cherry on the cake for Atleti.
Mm.
Yeah. Mm. Krikshaws was mentioning from the starting of the season, only Mbappe, Goller, and Franco looks above average. Rest are looking daisy. Big up Jaya. He was mentioning, I just think our defense had a bad game. Carreras and Dean were terrible today. Um, I've always had my reservations about Housen. You know, when I first saw him, I just was completely in awe with his ability to play out of the back. His passing range looked
Yeah.
incredible. But the more I watch him, I see fundamentally he needs a lot more polish. He needs a lot more maturity to actually play in such a demanding
Yeah.
position as a centre back.
Plus, you can't be a one-dimensional defender in today's day and age.
Mm,
Look at Militao, for instance. There's so many situations where he gets caught out because his positional awareness isn't good enough. Like
mm,
truly, purely based off his physicality and his pace, which
mm,
he naturally has always had from his Porto days. He's
yeah.
not going to be the best defender in the world, right?
Mm. He
Only if
recovers
we
because of his
could
pace.
combine,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
only if we
Yeah.
could combine some of what somebody like Rudiger
Mm,
has in him.
mm,
But again, Rudiger doesn't have the legs in him anymore
mm.
uh, to be the defender that Militao is. So only if we could combine those characteristics into one
Well,
defender.
he's been playing through injury for a couple of years. You know, I hope he comes back in a in a good way
Yeah,
compared to, I mean, similar to how Militao came back. You know, he looks fit at least. You know, he went
he looks
down
fit,
about.
yes, but there are problems,
Oh yeah,
positional issues, awareness issues that,
that was always there, right, Sahil? I mean,
yeah.
Militao wasn't really
Yeah,
that
he always
guy.
has that error in him. He has
And
the odd bad game in him where
if you
he'll
actually
fuck
watch
up.
Sergio Ramos as well, the amount of mistakes he used to commit, but then rectify in a flash was incredible. But I think that's what
Yeah,
made him one of the best centre backs of our generation, right? Um,
yeah.
Defenders, we commit mistakes. I mean, not we. I wasn't a defender, but defenders they commit mistakes. But um, yeah, you should have it in yourself to actually, completely rectify it. All on your own. I think that's the mark of a great defender. Hausen has a lot of potential, but he needs time. Carreras as well has a lot of potential, but at the same time, is he really our answer to a completely balanced right back? He looks incredible 1v1 defending and whatnot when he's on it, but on the front foot in the opposition third, is he that guy? I don't know.
Well, he could be, but much of his flaws, I mean, came to the fore today
Mm,
when Giuliano Simeone put him under pressure.
mm,
Um,
mm.
I think those are things that can be worked on. He's not a fundamentally
I
bad
think it's
player.
also the occasion as well. It's his first
Yeah, it
derby,
got to his
you
head,
know.
yes, and you could see that clearly.
Mm,
He didn't know where to be. Where
yeah.
he in the games prior to this, he had so much surety about his position and about his role in this team.
Mm,
Um, I just feel a little bit of calm and familiarity could prove him, some good.
mm, mm. Yeah, his elbow on Simeone as well, unnecessary. If it was a bit more rush, it would have been a sending off. So
Yeah.
yeah, these guys they're all losing their heads, and we have seen this. This has been a recurring theme with this side.
Mm.
No matter if it's veterans, no matter if it is players who are fighting for their position, no matter if it's a guy who just stepped into this team
Yeah.
couple of months back, culture is very, very, very wrong in this club. Unfortunately, unfortunately,
Yeah.
I hope all the yes men surrounding a club drop dead. I really hope. I really hope they just fucking drop dead and let us rebuild this club to back to where we belong. Because I don't want to be laughed at by fucking Chelsea, Man City, Barcelona,
Juve. Juve is coming
PSG,
up this
Juve.
season as well. Yeah.
We're traveling away to Benfica. Man, I don't know. I don't know, I have no idea, man. I have no idea. I have no idea. But yeah, may God help us. But
Inshallah.
yeah, inshallah. Right then, big up the chat, big up the people who are going to be tuning in as well. Don't forget to send in the hate. especially after a day like today. I relish it. I look forward to. I usually say it when I wake up first thing in the morning. So don't forget to send in more hate regarding what I think about our beloved club. Make sure you make it a point to abuse the panel, not just me. Sahil,
Yeah, me as
Farooq.
well.
Yeah, just send in your abuse consistently so that yeah, we can make this a very unhealthy relationship. This pod has been what it is because it has been a two-way street. I've said this so many times, and this is just 1% of the dickheads out there, but the rest of the 99% of the people we speak to are well-mannered, cultured. They know that people can differ on opinions, people can differ on outlook in life, in general. That's how humans are. That doesn't mean you're wrong. That doesn't mean I'm wrong. Yeah, we just share completely different ideologies about what our club should be doing. And that's absolutely fine if you ask me. That's why when they do send me such utter nonsense, I don't retaliate, even if it enrages me, I don't really bite. I just tell them if you're not respectful, they don't have a place amongst our community, unfortunately. But yeah, for all the people who keep it at a buck and keep it friendly and keep it civil, we're all here to have a healthy conversation, healthy debate about a club, about the club we love, man. I'll be honest. But yeah, big up our sponsors as always. Go check them out. Talksport Fan Network. Everything on LBR is officially powered by the Talksport Fan Network, the biggest sports radio station in the world. Go show their social some love. And also, Fanatics, official partners of La Liga and Real Madrid. Go check them out. The affiliated link is in the description below. Tuesday, we travel to Kazakhstan to face Kairat. We get some morale back, you know, morale boosting
Yeah.
performance.
Nice little holiday to Kazakhstan.
Mm, or are we gonna really suffer because Kazakhstan is a long ways away? I remember the trips to even fucking Shakhtar wasn't great. So let's see how Kazakhstan pans out. We need a win absolutely to get over this, and Villarreal at the weekend. It's going to be interesting as well. Villarreal, although they lost to Atleti, up until that loss, they looked incredible. They have made a very, solid, yes, very, very,
Start of
very
the
solid,
season, yes.
solid start of the season. Actually, spent a bit of dough to actually, reinforce their squad. And Marcelino is no stranger to beating Madrid. We'll see. We'll see how it pans out. But yeah, boys, on to better days. Until next time, people. Hala
Hala
Madrid.
Madrid. All right.